I'm so happy to be here to guide you through this practice. Today we're going to be focusing on an approach around listening and living from the body as opposed to listening and living in the head. So in a yin practice, it's very easy to get stuck up here of like, how far should I go in the pose? Is this deep enough? Is it not enough? Am I pushing or am I softening? Am I listening to my body or am I trying to figure it all in my head? For today's practice, you have one thing to focus on, your breath. That's it. So the inhalation through your nose, the exhalation through the nose. At any point, if your body says, you know what, I need to exhale through an open mouth, please go ahead and listen to that. There won't be a lot of talking throughout this practice. It'll very much be cued into the pose and out of the pose. And in between will be your opportunity in the stillness and in the silence to really listen within. Okay. If something doesn't feel right, let it go, leave it out. In terms of props, you'll want to have a couple of blocks. If you choose to bring anything else like a bolster, blankets, pillows, anything that brings you a little bit more comfort for your practice. Okay, so without further ado, let us begin in supported fish. Okay, so I like to use my two blocks in a very specific way. I like a lot of support for my neck, so my block is going to be at the highest level and the back of my head is going to rest on there. The second block, I like a lot of support for the chest, so I'm going to run it horizontal across my mat on the lowest setting. You're welcome to flip it to the second level, but that'll give you a much broader opening. You choose what feels best for your body. And then as you turn yourself around and you lay down onto the blocks, making sure that your bum is grounded, that there's lots of space in the low back, nothing is digging in the neck, the arms can shift out at shoulder height, palms up, a soft bend in the elbows. Feel free to extend your legs out, or for more support, keep your knees bent. And then if you haven't already, close your eyes and start to tune into your breath. I prefer an inhale of 4 to an exhale of 6, but you are more than welcome to play and adjust with that. take one more full round of breath. Not rushing, not forcing it, really mindfully drawing it in and out of the body. And then slowly begin to bring the arms down towards the hips, turning the palms to face down. If your legs are fully extended, begin to walk your feet back onto the mat, bending the knees. And then you can choose to either just roll to one side and come up off of your blocks and come onto your back, or you can lift up through your core onto your hands, and then you can take those blocks out of the way for the moment and just come down into constructed rest, letting the knees touch, the feet go wide, spine to the mat, arms resting comfortably. Take a moment here to let your body rebound and notice how you feel. And then begin to gather the knees in towards the chest and find a gentle rock from side to side. As your knees come back through center, begin to bring your feet back down to the mat. Lengthen your legs all the way out. And we're going to prepare for Banana Asana. We'll take both legs over to the bottom left corner of the mat. And then we'll pick up the upper body and take it up and over to the top left corner of the mat. So you're making this beautiful banana shape. You can cross the right ankle over the left if that feels good in your body. You can also have the feet quite far apart from one another or even touching side by side. Arms extend out wherever it feels most intuitively comfortable for you. You can let your head tilt towards the left if that feels all right on the neck. And think of lengthening down through the side body. Anchoring in through shoulders, hips, ankles, and into the breath. In through your nose, take a deep, full breath. Feel yourself fill all the way up. And then exhale as slowly as you can, bringing the body back towards the center of the mat and allowing your body to rebound here in center. You can bring the feet back towards each other, shoulders back in line with your mat. And again, it's a moment to notice, to live from the body rather than the mind. And now begin to walk the feet over towards the bottom right corner of your mat. Anchor through the sit bones and then pick up the upper body and shift it up and over to the right as well. And as you make this beautiful arc through your body, anchor down through your shoulders, through your hips, through your ankles. Let your arms travel wherever it feels comfortable. Settle in. Reconnect with the breath. take one more round of breath in and out through the nose. And then gently guide your body back towards the center of your mat. And let your body breathe here for a few moments as everything settles, recalibrates, adjusts. And then bring those knees back into the chest again. Find that gentle rock. Create a little bit of movement here. And then as your knees come back through center, bring the feet back to the mat. Knees touch, feet wide. Find one of your blocks. And then depending on how your neck feels, especially the back of your neck, we're going to come into neck release. So if your neck feels very tight, you're going to take the block on the lowest level underneath the base of the head, and you kind of want the edge of the block to rest right at where the skull and the neck meet. Now, if you can bring it up to the second level, that's even better. And again, you kind of want the edge of the block to rest right at the occiput. Okay. Your chin will naturally tilt down as the back of the neck lengthens. And then broaden your shoulders apart so your upper back feels a little more flat. Let your arms rest. Palms up. And if this feels supportive on your low back, you can extend your legs out. But if it feels like it pulls, then bring your feet back onto the mat and just keep your knees touching and your feet wide. Create a hollow space between the upper and lower molars. So you're not clenching. There's space there. And then just let your body breathe. Take a deep breath in and take a long breath out. And bring one hand to the base of your neck so that you're going to support your head. And the other hand will take the block, remove it, and then bring your head back down to the floor and pause here. So let your neck, spine, shoulders reset. Take a couple of deep breaths. And then from here, you're going to turn yourself over onto your side. And eventually, you're going to make your way to grab both of your blocks. And we're going to come into supported Sphinx pose. So we're going to be coming onto the belly. And we're going to take these blocks. I encourage you to try the second level first. So you're going to place the blocks right underneath your shoulder heads and your arms are going to land on them. So your biceps are going to land onto these blocks. If you find it's too much on your low back, try flipping the blocks to the lower level. And I personally like my feet wide as opposed to together, but you play with that. And then your head can come down, or you can bring one ear to the mat. Just caution you that if you bring one ear to the mat, every once in a while, just turn over onto the other ear. Relax your legs, maybe give them a little bit of a wiggle, and then settle in. complete one more cycle of breath. And then very carefully let the head lift, making sure that the nose is pointing down. And then take one hand, remove one block, and place your hand underneath your shoulder. And then the same with the other hand, remove the block. And then just let your forehead come down onto stacked hands. Bring your big toes to touch, let your heels roll out, and just let yourself rebound here. Gently begin to lift the head. Slide your hands underneath your shoulders and press yourself up. And then you're going to make your way to a comfortable seated position. So you might sit on a block, you might sit on a bolster, you might sit on a blanket, whatever you have, that's just going to give your hips a little bit of an elevation. And once you're sitting here, just think about sitting tall. Let the shoulders drop, hands in the lap, eyes closed. Just letting yourself breathe and notice. Now slowly open the eyes. We're going to move into a little bit of acupressure along with a yin pose. So we're going to move into shoelace. Now shoelace is a pretty deep hip opening pose. So the easier option, especially if your knees are tight or your hips are tight, you're just going to sit in a very loose cross-legged position with your right leg in the front and the left leg on the inside, okay? And you can also put blocks underneath your knees if you need to for a little more support. If you're a little bit more open, you're going to slide that left leg underneath and you're going to cross the right leg on top. Now these knees don't have to be stacked symmetrically, just as long as it feels comfortable and there's no pressure on your knees, especially the bottom knee. And then for the acupressure, we're going to come into Governor Vessel 24.5. So this is an awareness point, which is really helpful at opening up our energy, but also our awareness. So you're going to use index and second finger, and you're going right at the bridge of the nose. So right where your forehead and your nose meet, right in that little indentation. Okay. You're going to let your shoulders soften, let the elbow relax down, and apply a firm pressure, but not anything that feels painful, just an awareness of the fingers there. And as you sit up tall, the eyes can close and the breath can begin to deepen here. Staying in the pose, simply release your hand from the point. Let your arm come down and place your hands wherever it feels most comfortable and continue in the shape, continuing to breathe. You can continue to let the awareness still be on that point, even though you're not pressing it. And slowly start to unwind your legs. I like to extend my legs out in front of me to rebound. You can keep your knees bent, whatever feels most comfortable for you. But give yourself a moment of stillness here and allow the awareness to be guided through the body, not through the mind, just the body. Now it's your choice. You can keep your eyes closed or you can open them momentarily, and we'll set up for shoelace on the other side. So if you're doing a very loose shoelace, you're going to have the right leg on the inside this time and the left leg forward. And if you're moving into shoelace, you're taking that right leg underneath and the left leg is wrapping up and over. We're going to come back to that point again, stimulating it. This time we'll use the left hand, so index and second finger together. You're going to press right again in the indentation. Sitting up tall, shoulders soft, jaws soft, face is soft, and breath is deep. So this acupressure point is quite helpful anytime you feel maybe disconnected, or if you're looking for clarity, if there's mental fog. This is also really good for eye strain or headaches or sinus pressure. Again, staying in the pose, simply release the hand, let the arm relax. Allow the awareness maybe to still stay at the point, or let the awareness travel through the body. Take 2 more deep breaths here. And then at your own pace, slowly unwind the legs. And you can, again, rebound maybe with the knees bent, or take a moment, let the legs extend out. And now slowly start to make your way down onto your back into our final resting pose, into Savasana. So you're welcome to set that up anyway. If you want to use a bolster, if you want to use blocks underneath your feet or underneath your knees, you can. If you want to cover yourself up, want to put a towel over your eyes, whatever you need, so that you can really make this shape effortless. I encourage you to take up some space. Take the feet wide, take the arms away from the body, palms up. Take a final deep, full, complete breath. And then let your breath find its own unmeasured pace that flows in and out through the nose. Please take all the time that you need here. There's no rush. Have a beautiful, peaceful, and restful night's sleep. And I look forward to seeing you in the next practice. Thank you so much for letting me guide you today. Namaste.